Today I'm gonna talk about how to get from Cancun to Chiquila. Chiquila is the last ground or city before you take the boat for Holbox. If you guys don't know what Holbox is an island in the Caribbean Sea that is located in the northern part of Quanta Roo, which is the most visited, let's say, popular tourist place in Mexico, or one of the most touristic places in Mexico. It's this area called Quanta Roo, and the island of Holbox is located in the northern side of the land in Caribbean Sea. And it used to be this legend about this magical Holbox, and I decided to visit it in this trip. And today you're gonna see some part of how to get to Holbox. So before I start, I want to share something about driving in Mexico. Whoever comes from America and tries to drive in Mexico go completely nuts, because in Mexico people do something I will call intuitive driving, especially in the city. Uh, People will just vibe with where they're gonna go to. They're not gonna put a lot of signs. Basically, you gotta be very focused when you drive in the city in Mexico. I would say though that most of the drivers are very respectful, polite. First time driving in Mexico is pretty stressful, but once you relax, so sometimes I would stop on these roundabouts in Mexico, in Cancun, and people will just drive around me. I can be in panic, I could be freaked out. It's okay. Nobody would actually bump on you, stress you. People are kind of respecting what you're experiencing as a tourist in Mexico. And when they see that you have a rent car, they're kind of relaxed and they're like, oh yeah, it's tourists, they're lost, it's fine. Turistas. So in the end of the day, driving there, it's pretty different than driving here or than driving in Europe. Maybe if you're in coming from these small countries in Europe, like Eastern Europe, where I come from, driving there is crazy. Nothing as driving in, I think the worst place I drive in is Rome, maybe, or Milano. Even though I think Italy is not so bad to drive in. Oh, I would say the worst place I ever drive is island called Mykonos. It's terrible. But said that, the other thing about driving in Mexico, it's there is this thing in Europe, they're called artificial policemen, or speed ralentators, or speed breakers, and in Mexico they're called topes. I will find a picture and I will put it right here so you understand what topes mean. But this is basically these bumps that are made on the road from asphalt to make your speed go down. And the sad thing about the topes in Mexico is that you have the sign, it's like a sign, and the tope is right below it. So very often you cannot even see the sign before you bump into it and you get this impact and like, oh my gosh, what happened when your car touched this asphalt, and you're like, oh, I gotta be careful. So normally this kind of asphalt bumps in Mexico they create when you enter into city or a commercial area or a school area, and when you get out of it, where is kids, where is people, where is public space, where you can eventually have pedestrians. So normally if you drive in Mexico and you see these kind of things, you got to know that you should get ready to slow down, because there will be quite a few in a row, maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 7, 8. I haven't, but like quite a lot when you enter in the cities, right? So driving in Mexico is very, I would call it spiritual. You can laugh, you could think that I'm crazy, but driving in Mexico is very, It's like being in one of these video games in a maze, with only differences that if you bump into something is real. So I have a video here. I will put it. You can look.
Facebook, en Instagram, ahí me encuentran. Bien, entonces te mandamos un abrazo y mañana nos volvemos a escuchar. Así, chicos, chao, besos. Bye. Vámonos con música. ¿Qué les parece esto de Alejandro Fernández? Cerrando con no. ¡Ay! Dolor ya me volviste a... Y chequen la foto que subieron hace unos momentos. Bueno, ahorita se las comparto más bien.
Yeah, as you can see here in this little 30 seconds, when you drive, everything is the same. You could see the trees, and if you get on a highway, it's nothing there. There is nothing there. Sometimes you drive and you're not sure if it's really happening because you just see the trees and you're not sure if you're on a dream or if it's actually happening to you. That's why I think that driving in Mexico is dangerous. It's dangerous because it's so mesmerizing and so exactly the same that your brain easily get into this high hypnotic wave and you easily like feel like you're falling to sleep. And this is what exactly makes this so dangerous, I believe. Normally the Google map on when you drive, let's say you put from Cancun to Chiquila, it says to you 1 hour something, it gives you 1 hour 50. Well, I will tell you, sadly, the Google map doesn't calculate the TOPEs and doesn't calculate this speed limits and doesn't calculate the environments. And I drove on some ways going to, I think, to Rios Lagartos from Valladolid. But in this trip from Cancun to the Chiquila, which it says 2 hours on the map, I did it in 3 hours, and I am not a slow driver. If you ask someone, it's just that you cannot just drive. Once you get off the highway, you cannot speed. The last
Right now,
kilometers.
we
So
get off the
you can
highway,
see right here.
and in order to get to this road, we paid about, here's my ticket, we paid 170 pesos, and that's approximately about $4 to use this road now.
So I was commenting there that the price is 70 pesos to get off the highway from Cancun to Chiquila. They charge you the 70 pesos. And you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna drive on a highway. No, you're not. Actually, you're gonna just get off this road and drive in this bad road. It's not good, the road. This is the truth. And you're gonna drive, you think 30 minutes, but in fact it's another hour something from the highway to the actually Chiquila, and you're gonna see these road signs, 12 kilometers to paradise. I don't know. And 12 kilometers you do here in America for 10 minutes. There, these 12 kilometers you cannot do in 10 minutes because there is this jungle coming from the both side, and the road should be two lines but sounds like one. And driving is pretty challenging there. Here you could see this place is why this place takes so long to get to is because you expect to drive 2 hours instead of you drive about four, let's say. And there is these small villages that are separate, and every time you enter in one of those, there is probably the police, which stopped me quite a few times. This was the first time the police stopped me in Cancun. You could see the video here. So they stopped me because I didn't see the tope and I almost bombed the car. And I was like, oh, what was that? And then I saw the police behind me that was waving, and I stopped and I was like, hey, He's like, yeah, be careful, yada yada yada, right? Finally, I got to Chiquila, and finally you could see it's almost nothing you expect to see a city, but it's just like a dirt road made of sand or whatsoever is there, and there's a bunch of people waving at you with different colored like fabrics, and you're wondering what is that. Maybe it's food, maybe it's not. No, they're waving you because they are trying to ask you to park. And everywhere the parking is the same. It's 100 pesos per day or so. So 24 hours is 100 pesos. And so if you want to take the boat, go to Hobox, which is 30 minutes boat, and get your car back. You can do this, staying in Chiquila, or whatever you pronounce it properly. Said that, now I'm gonna show you a video where you could see the port of Chiquila, from where you can take the boat or the ferry to Holbox Island. Here you could see that. And here is where the ferries take the ferry from this small port, or you can pay some of these fishermen right there to take you, but I think the fishermen will ask more money. So I'm just gonna see how much the ferry is. It's so warm that I cannot tell you. Really warm. So yeah, you arrive to the port, and trust me, it's so warm. Even if it's April, it's like you're sweating. I don't know if you guys understand. I arrive around 11 something. So have in mind, I start driving at 8 or quarter to 8, 9, 10, 11. So almost 4 hours I drive to get from Cancun to Chiquila. Let's put it just an hour more. Always I put it hour more. If you see on the map it says 2 hours, just put it 3 hours, because the truth is that it's gonna take you 3 hours, believe it or not. And I'm a person who drives fast when I can drive fast. So trust me, it just, you cannot skip it. There is no way you can drive fast on these places. No safe way you can drive fast, I mean. And so you see the ferries, and there is a bunch of people trying to sell you tickets for these ferries. So the ferry ticket is 240 pesos. This is my work job, but I'm not gonna answer it. 250 pesos, and there you could see the ferry here. And the ferry seems like all the prices are the same, even though it's different companies. I'm gonna use this one to get to the island and another one to come back. As you see, it's pretty easy. Air conditioning, if somebody wants. And then, of course, outside, which in this weather is preferable. So as you can see, there is two, maybe better, how to say, there is two parts on each ferries. Every ferries, even if you go to Greece, Lefkada, Ionian lines, the ones that travel in Black Sea or Europe, all the ferries are the same. This doesn't make difference. They have a covered area under where you can hide from the sun or the snow or whatsoever, and they have upstairs area where you can stay on the sun and take some sun. Also there is a lot of wind here. You could see, I will give you a few videos, a few places you could see on the boat and sailing. It's about 40 seconds or so. Maybe I will add it here and mute it in the end, this video. So what to tell you. The boat takes 30 minutes from the land to get to the island or Hobox. There is two ferries. The tickets are the same, 240 pesos or so. You arrive at the port, and then you would see these buggies or these small like motorbikes with few seats that they ask you to transfer you to the city. The entire island, if you walk this way, I counted, it's about 8 blocks, but 8 small blocks. So 10 minutes, 15 minutes if it's really hot and you're really lazy and you're doing it really slow. So to get from the port to the center of the city, it's 10 minutes. And it's 10 minutes in the dust, you could see it, dust and heat, and you don't understand why it's so dusty. And later on I discovered, you see, there is this big space, big gap between where the cars drive and where the people walk. And the reason why is because when the monsoons come, when the rain come, all this space get flooded, unfortunately. So said that it's a lot of dust, it's a lot of hot. I didn't kind of understand why people go so crazy over Holbox. I've been living to these beautiful islands in Greece. I didn't understand what is that about. Walking toward the city, I saw this person selling aqua melon. I will put the picture right here. It was the best aqua melon I had in entire Mexico, and it was just 25 pesos, which is a good amount of money for water. Almost like American bottle of water is $1, something like this. This was the aqua melon that I got. Uh, the road is bad. I gotta tell you, the road is it's bad. It's, you don't understand. And now you're gonna see a few videos. The road, the city, just the first impression of it, like the shock of it. Okay. But you're gonna see after the beautiful part of it in the end of this video. So you're gonna see the city, so-called city, and then you're gonna see the beach. So this is as you arrive in Hobox. You can get these scooters, rent them for like 30 pesos or so. But I decided to walk. Walking is very good. It's pretty warm. It's warm is serious here. It's, you just sweat. I sweat like, it's good though. And the taxi is not expensive. It's just 30 pesos, 30, 60, depend how far you go. But to the center is 30, which is the main zone. But it seems really short walk, so I like to walk around and enjoy. Vivere, live like locals, you know. You can rent a car here. Oh, God knows. I want to rent this kind of cars you can rent, you see? Very nice. So that's the road, basically. I love the art and everything. Is like the buildings are so colorful, but it's kind of hard to walk, really, because it's very not urban, which is cool as well, because if it was super fashionable, it would be not so cool. So you saw it, the first impression is what the hell I'm even doing here? I wanted to be in vacation, and it seems like I went out of civilization. This is exactly the impression, especially traveling from America. This is like a huge impact, right? And so I arrived to my hostel. I was able to find the seller on my Google Maps offline. I will tell you the place is pretty small. Some places do have Wi-Fi, but if you see the number of the Cele is the number of the road. In Mexico, for some reason, they separate the street in Celes, and Cele 36, for example, 36 road would be. So if you see which Celes are, you can pretty easily find it offline, which exactly what I did because I didn't have Wi-Fi. And I just got to this island and I didn't understand where I was. So I was in shock after driving so long as well. That was like, and adding to that, the heat. You cannot imagine what is the heat there. And I know all these people that make these perfect videos and they try to hide it from you, and they try to act all fresh and all unrealistical. The truth is, it's so fucking hot. I'm sorry for using a word at even 11:45. It's so hot that it's hard to move. You don't want to walk, you don't want to even stay on the beach because it's burning, and when I say burning, I mean it. After 11:45, even when the sun goes on your hands, it burns them. And normally you don't feel burning on your hands by the sun. It's really, really hot. So I cover myself with this scarf that I carry all the time with me from the sun because it's so strong. And I got to my hotel, which is called Hotel Tribu, and you could see the entrance right here. I give you a few pictures. This is the hammocks. Then you have my room. Uh, but it was so hot. Too hot to actually even go to the beach. So I waited about 40 minutes to get my room, and then I finally got it, and I had a nap. It was so hot. It was terribly hot. And the same day, I went on the beach. You could see a video here. I went and I ate on the beach, and then I went to walk to a place called Playa Cocco. And I'm gonna make a video. It's about 2.7 miles from the center of the city, the central Chile, to that side of the island. I'm gonna share a picture with you. I took about 30, little bit longer than 30 minutes to walk on the beach to get to that Playa Cocos, which is actually a reserve. And I basically walk on the beach and I saw all the places that side of the island, the party side of the island, had to offer. And I'm gonna make a video about walking from the center of Holbox to Playa Cocos, and how is that like, how what I like, what I dislike, and so on, which you can see on the next video. I'm also gonna make a video about the hotel and how much cost to stay in this island because it's pretty expensive, to be honest with you. Nothing incredible. There is very expensive places there, but I'm gonna share this in next few videos with you. But said that, I'm gonna leave you with a small video of the beach right here. And once you walk into the beach, you're like, I've been traveling for 2 days, and this is why.